So a couple of days ago now, the patch notes for the 9.0 update released, and along with many nerfs to some strong weapons and specials like Squeezer and Zuka, this little note was also included which says, made it so that Japan and regions near it cannot select the Tentatek division when selecting an X-Battle division. So if you didn't know, there's two X-ranked divisions in Splatoon 3. You have Tentatek, which is for like the Americas and Europe and Africa, and then there's Takaroka, which is for Asia and Oceania. And at first glance, this may seem like a good thing because, Japanese players have taken up a large percentage of the Tentatek player base and leaderboards, and, nobody likes being shot straight through a wall by a laggy Japanese e-leader, but personally, I think if you're going to ban Japan from Tentatek, you should have also banned the western regions from Takaroka. So when X-Rank first came out, the vast majority of players, selected their intended region. Starting in the second season though, many Western players began to leave the Tentatek region because the queue times were atrocious, especially at the higher powers, and the average player in the Tentatek region was just kind of worse compared to the Takaroka region, just due to the fact that there's just less in general. So this caused a lot of people to just kind of leave because they didn't want to deal with all this. Takaroka just seemed like the more appealing region for a lot of the higher skilled players. But this exodus of players then resulted in flocks of Japanese players coming to the Tentatek region, since as more of us left, the lower required power it is to get the leaderboard badges for our X rank. This influx of Japanese players actually began to refill the slots of the Western players that had previously just left the Takaroka. So, as someone who's stayed in the Tentatek region for the whole time, this noticeably improved things like queue times and brought some genuine good players to compete with for leaderboard placements, which just makes it more fun. So at this point, everything's kind of working itself out naturally. We have kind of this symbiotic relationship where some of us leave to go face better competition and better queue times, and some of the Japanese people come to get the badges. So kind of works itself out naturally. But now with this ban, Tentatek's just gonna be kind of fucked, isn't it? So you're cutting a portion of the player base so sizable that you felt the need to intervene, but didn't do anything to stop the people fleeing from our region to Takaroka. So this means the problems that we had before are probably going to return, right? The average player is going to be worse again, the queue times are going to go back to being atrocious. Maybe not as bad though, because they have done some tweaks to improve the queue times in previous patches, but I still can't see a world where the queue times are gonna not be any noticeably different. And now, because these issues are back, every season more and more people are probably gonna leave Tentatek to play in Takaroka, which will make the issues even worse. And I can get why they did it, because it's not a good look to have half the players in the top 10 leaderboard that the Splatoon NA Twitter post be Japanese. And the portion of overseas players that do go to Takaroka is probably such a small portion of the overall Takaroka player base that they didn't feel like it was necessary. But I feel like if you're not also banning the Western players from joining Takaroka, it's just probably going to cause some bigger problems in Tentatek. I'm really hoping that they just forgot to mention this ban goes two ways. But, I guess only time will tell. The update came out yesterday, but it doesn't really come into effect until the season changes, which is today, I guess, the time this comes out. So, maybe I'll be completely wrong, and I kind of hope I am, because I just want to play the game, man. But, I guess we'll see, eh?